and welcome back to Let's Play Pokemon Blue version. Today we are taking on the Pokemon League. But first I wanted to kind of go over my training method to speed this up. I am taking advantage of a glitch. In this case, the missing no glitch. So, earlier I mentioned how when we were just beat the Cinnabar City Gym, that if you go in the side of the water, you can find kind of like a glitch Pokemon known as Missing No. This is an example of Missing No. And the reason why this fight is kind of important when it comes to training, if we go to our items, I have rare candies. Right now I have 9. And you see Gembu's level 60. It's having to do with this. So first I'm going to knock out the Missing No. I don't want to catch it. And gain some experience. But if I go to my bag now, go down to those rare candies, now you see, if you look next to the 9, there's a glitched number. Well, this basically gives us a lot more rare candies. So I am slowly leveling up our team members using this just so I can speed up the grinding so we can actually take on the Elite Four at a reasonable time. Because with the Elite Four, the lowest level Pokemon, let me check real quick, is level 54, where the highest Pokemon we will face during our challenge is level 65. So with us being in the 40s, we're fairly low leveled. So I wanted to get everyone at least close to the final boss level without exceeding it. And this is just the quickest method. I could train. I've done it before where I go and battle and level up my Pokemon. But I just decided to this time make kind of use of this glitch just so I save me time here. But I have grinded this out as normal before. But I have to also get lucky for this to work. But that is it here. And what I'm going to do is next time, well, not next time, in just a bit, I will see you back at the Pokemon League. And we will have our team ready to face them. So see you in just a second. Okay, so we're ready to take on the Elite Four. First, we have one last move to teach. So, in between episodes, I went back to Silphco because I forgot a very important TM. TM26 Earthquake. This can be found on floor 10. To the left side of the room, there's just 3 items, and this was one of them. So, Earthquake, we want to teach that to Kaiser. Yes, we need to forget a move, and we're going to forget Poison Sting. Exchange one stab move for the other. So it is just a better form of dig. Okay. I also, in between episodes, stocked up on healing items, some full heals, revives, and I grabbed every elixir and ether out of my bag. That way we can recover any moves we need as we go along. If you need anything right before you go in, stop by the mart and pick it up. Yeah, that should be good. From here on, you will face the Elite Four one by one. If you win, a door opens to the next trainer. Good luck. I did forget to talk to one important person. Yo, champ in the making. At Pokemon League, you have to face the Elite Four in succession. If you lose, you have to start all over again. This is it. Go for it. Okay, time. The first member of the Elite Four is Lorelei. Welcome to the Pokemon League. I am Lorelei of the Elite Four. No one can best me when it comes to the icy Pokemon. Freezing moves are powerful. Your Pokemon will be at my mercy when they are frozen solid. Haha. Are you ready? So Lorelei. Her Pokemon can basically be split into two categories. Her primary type is ice with kind of a secondary type of water. So we're going to start off with Gachapon. Take advantage of her Pokemon's water type weaknesses. And with us being a slightly higher level than her, we can also, well, we're going to be fairly powerful, but that advantage will start evaporating for us as we go along. So she starts off always with her Dewgong at level 54 in all three versions, followed up by her Cloyster at level 53. Both Dewgong and Cloyster are water ice type, so we can take advantage using Thunder. Next, she sends out Slowbro. Gachapon should be fine here. Hit it with Thunder once more. Hope we missed. And Amnesia will raise Slowbro's special. This is actually a fairly dangerous move because it doesn't just raise her special defense, it also raises her special attack. Now she's raising her regular defense. And unfortunately we're missing a Thunder. Now she caused our attack to fall. So the Slowbro is good at basically kind of setting up and stalling you to waste moves. Unfortunately Gachapon is missing a fair amount, but one last Thunder should take it out. Okay, next is Jinx. Yes, I'm going to switch, and for backup, we have Isis. Jinx is an Ice Psychic type, so none of our moves are necessarily super effective on it, but we're still able to hit pretty hard and resist her psychic attacks. So, I did not do that much. Okay. We try Thunderbolt. Jinx does have physical attacks, but with nearly 400 HP, we can tank some hits. Okay, Thunderbolt did a lot better. Choosing Thrash. It's just kind of hard, but once again, we are stocked with HP, so we can take some hits. And her last Pokemon is Lapras. So another water ice type, so we will take advantage of that water weakness with Thunderbolt. Only got down to half health, and now Blizzard. The strongest ice move. But Isis does her job and takes it. And with that last Thunderbolt, we defeat our first member of the Elite Four. How dare you? You're better than I thought. Go on ahead. You only got a taste of the Pokemon League power. Right? Now's the time to heal up. I will make use of, max Hyper Potion on Gachapon. but that hyper potion will not necessarily cover ices, so let's use a max potion. Okay, now for our next opponent, I'm going to switch Terra up front, and for kind of our backup, most likely Gimbu would be best. Ices can be possibly used, but may not work out too well. Due to our next opponent, I am Bruno of the Elite Four. Through rigorous training, people in Pokemon can become stronger. I've weight trained with my Pokemon. Phoenix, we will grind you down with a superior power. Ho-ha! Bruno is the fighting type member of the Elite Four. And he definitely wants to fight. His kind of secondary typing is rock ground. So Aerodactyl might not, well, Terror might not be the necessary best start, but Onyx isn't that powerful, so it's not as bad as it could be. Let's see how much Swift does, but it resists it. Okay. We might need to think about switching Terror out kind of early on to Gimbu so we can take advantage of Surf. And kind of like Lorelei, all of Bruno's team will be the same for red, blue, and yellow versions. So there is the Onyx down. Terror and Gimbu gained some experience, and now we're going to switch back into Terror and face Hitmonchan. So the last Hitmonchan we saw was at the Fighting Dojo. And we now see this Hitmonchan has Thunder Punch. That could be very effective on Terror. But with Fly, we knock it out. Next is Hitmonlee. Also saw at the Fighting Dojo. But with Fly, we should be fine. Granted, I do think that it does have the ability to use high jump kick to hit Terror while in the air. Okay, next is Onyx. So we'll switch out to Gimbu because this is a stronger Onyx compared to the last one. But a Surf should easily deal with it. We get the knockout. Next is his final Pokemon, Machamp. So send Terror back out. And with it being a pure fighting type, going to fly up high once more, avoid the fissure, and hit. It barely survives. It uses submission to hit back, doing a fair amount of damage, but it takes a recoil hit and knocks itself out. With that, the second Elite Four member is down. Why? How could I lose? Getting a lot more money? My job is done. Go face your next challenge. Alright, once more, let's heal up. Terra took the brunt of Bruno, with Gimbu slightly behind it. Well, with a little damage. Alright, for our next opponent, we're going to bring in Kaiser. Isis probably would be good also. Well, let's do Paracy. he can also have a slight advantage against our next opponent. Get back the music from Lavender Town, which is very fitting with our next opponent. I am Agatha of the Elite Four. Oak's taken a lot of interest in you, child. That old duff was once tough and handsome. That was decades ago. Now he just wants to fiddle with his Pokédex. He's wrong. Pokemon are fighting. Phoenix, I'll show you how a real trainer fights. So, next opponent is Agatha, whose main typing is Ghost, with a secondary typing of Poison. Really, she's more of a Poison type trainer than she is Ghost. And this is where Earthquake really comes in handy, because we can take advantage of Gengar not having Levitate in this game to get a easy knockout. Next she sends out Golbat. Let's send out Parasine. See if we can kind of deal with his flying weakness. With our usual strat, it goes to confuse us, but hopefully we can put it to sleep. That's Papa Swords Dance. Hopefully we don't hit ourselves in confusion. Oh, we're no longer confused. So we get a Swords Dance up. Let's be greedy this time. One more Swords Dance. He's set up. Let's go for a Leech Life. It tries to use the less accurate Supersonic. And we take it halfway down. More Leech Life. Hopefully we're not confused and hit ourselves. And unfortunately we do hit ourselves in confusion. And with our raised suit attack, we actually hurt ourselves for a fair amount. And we do it again. Come on, Parasite, don't be the first knockout. Okay, Haze is a unique because it removes all status effects. So we have lost all of our Swords Dances. Hurting Parasite. Alright, we got the Spore off. Okay. She does switch out, tries to put Parasite to sleep, but fails. We use Leech Life, taking advantage of the poison weakness to Bug in this game. And luckily, because we're not asleep, Junior does not affect us, and we get the knockout on Hunter, bringing our health back up. She's bringing Golbat out. We will keep Parasite. Hopefully, well, it's still asleep, so we'll go for the Leech Life. Trying to get our health up more, but it's more neutral. Okay, one more Leech Life. Well, might knock it out, but she unfortunately uses a Super Potion, which just happens to recover just too much HP for us. She swaps out Golbat again and sends out her Arbok. Our Leech Life is putting in a lot of work. We're now back at full health. It hits us with Bite, doing some damage, but Leech Life recovers and gets the knockout. She's bringing out that pesky Golbat one last time. It's still asleep. But this Leech Life should finally into Train of Terror and knock it out. Okay, her final Pokemon is a second Gengar. We do have Paraseed going on a roll, but uses Toxic, putting us on a clock. We take out a third of its health. Oh, we get hit by poison first, taking 10 damage. Nightshade will hit us for 60 because it does damage based off Gengar's level. We'll use Leech Life to recover some. But now Toxic takes effect, dealing 20 damage to us. Now attempting to stall us with Confuse Ray, and with Paraseed's raised attack hitting itself in confusion. Does a fair amount. We have the hope to get lucky here. It uses a Super Potion to recover health. Please hit through this. We hit Leech Life. Damage it. We, I think, recovered just enough health to still survive. This next hit, unfortunately, will not do enough damage to save us. And Paraseed is taken down. But took out most of Agatha's team. So let's send out Kaiser for our revenge by hitting it with Earthquake. And the unnecessary critical, but probably necessary for knocking out Paraseed. Oh. You're something special, child. You win. I see that old Duff sees you in you now. I have nothing else to say. Run along now, child. Okay. Time to revive. Let's save a max revive for later. Kaiser did not lose any health, but Paraseed was knocked out. And with our next trainer, I think we do want to break out. I'm trying to remember which one does which. Okay. An Ether will recover uses of a single move, where an Elixir will do all the moves. The Max recovers it fully. I think an Ether only recovers it 5. So Elixir will recover 5 PP of all moves, or an Ether will only do 5 uses of one move. And now for our final member of the Elite Four. I think Isis might be a good start for this battle, with Gachapon and Gimbu being our best for backup. Ah, I heard about you, Phoenix. I lead the Elite Four. You can call me Lance, the Dragon Trainer. You know that dragons are mythical Pokemon. They are hard to catch and raise, but their powers are superior. They're virtually indestructible. Well, are you ready to lose? Your league challenge ends with me, Phoenix. So, Lance, the Dragon Master, with his secondary typing being Flying. Lance's team is unique because he doesn't actually have that many dragons, but his Pokemon really do well to represent dragons. So, Gyarados being based off the legend of the carp climbing a waterfall and becoming a dragon. And being 4 times weak to electric, we easily get the knockout. Next, he sends out Dragonair. Yes, we will want to switch. Gimbu will be the best for this. So Dragonair is the evolved form of Dragtini. And dragons have 2 weaknesses. Ice and Dragon itself, but with the only Dragon move being Dragon Rage, they're basically only weak to Ice types. He sends out a second Dragonair. So once more, keep Gimbu in, hit it with Ice Beam. It survives. He uses a Hyper Potion to heal it back up to full health. We'll just hit it with Ice Beam once more. Taking it back down. And this is where Lance's main strategy comes in. Hyper Beam. Most of his Pokemon are very physically strong. So that Hyper Beam can do a lot of damage. Next is Aerodactyl. I am going to switch. I'll send Iris back out. Isis. Okay. Thunderbolt should still be good, but that takedown will probably do a good amount. But we can take advantage by the recoil because it will do a fair amount back to it. Thunderbolt is super effective and takes Aerodactyl out. And Isis grows to level 61. And last is Dragonite. So this is where we'll bring Gimbu back out. Dragonite is a dragon flying type. The final evolved form of Dratini and the pseudo-legendary of this region. It has a massive attack stat. And we knocked out with a single Ice Beam because it's 4 times weak. If it hit with a Hyper Beam, it would have done a lot of damage. That's it. I hate to admit it, but you are a Pokemon Master. I still can't believe my Dragons lost to you, Phoenix. You are now the Pokemon League champion. We did it! We're champion! Or you would have been, but you have one more challenge ahead. You have to face another trainer. His name is Green. He beat the Elite Four before you. He is the real Pokemon League champion. So Green has beat us to becoming champion. And now we must wrestle that title away from him. Step 1, let's get healed up. And let's make sure everyone is fully prepared for this final battle. We are out-leveled by all but one of his Pokemon. So this is no joke. We are in for a pretty tough fight. I don't think we need to use that. I think Ether should get us mostly done. No Isis. Thunderbolt was her big thing. Gimbu. We use Surf and Ice Beam, so we actually want to probably use a max on him. That's okay. Thunder's good. Kaiser. We need Earthquake restored on him. Terror. Oh no, that's Terror. Nope. We need Fly on him. And then for maxes, we'll use one on Gimbu and one on Paracy. Okay. One thing I personally do for these final battles is I put my Pokemon in the reverse order of how I got them. And I plan to battle our rival, working from Gachapon all the way up to Gimbu, where every time he switches, I switch also to match his Pokemon. Alright, time for the final battle. Hey, I was looking forward to seeing you, Phoenix. My rival should be strong to keep me sharp. While working on Pokédex, I looked all over for powerful Pokemon. Not only that, I have assembled teams that would beat any Pokemon type. And now, I'm the Pokemon League champion. Phoenix, do you want to know what that means? I'll tell you. I am the most powerful trainer in the world. From our starts in Pallet Town, once more we must fight. Rival, or now champion Green. He starts off with his Pidgeot level 61, or in yellow, he would have a Sandslash level 61. What I'm going to start off with, I'm going to start popping Reflect and Light Screen using Gachapon to help set up my team for the upcoming battles. Pop Light Screen, so we're resistant to all of his attacks. And now, boom. Oh, it barely survived. Gachapon did good, but Isis is coming in to finish up the job with Thunderbolt. And even though Wing Attack is a physical move, with Reflect up, Isis is able to take it better. And we take out Pidgeot. Next is his Alakazam. This is the only Pokemon that is consistent throughout every game. We're going to keep the Thunderbolt train going. Hits us with Psychic, but we resist it, but he did lower our special in turn. So we're not doing as much. Let's try Metronome for see what happens. But right now we're tied 1-1. Critical hit. We use Thrash. Not much, but we are taking advantage of his weak physical defense, but he popped a Reflect in return. We keep thrashing about. Let's try another Thunderbolt. Hopefully we can last. We can, but we're confused. We hit through with Thunderbolt. And it looks like he's taking Isis down. So this is turning out to be a fairly tough fight. But let's send in Terra. Terra is fairly fast. Let's go for it. Oh, come on. Missed with the Hyper Beam. With his Reflect up. Still kind of dangerous. But we get the knockout. Next he sends out Rhydon. And Yellow Version, he will have an Executor level 61. We're actually going to try... Oh, come on. Lowering our defenses, but we're going to try to confuse him. Just trying to weaken us to be able to probably one-shot us, so let's get in the air. Hopefully it hits itself, that's good. Terra hits back with Fly. Critical hit, but not very effective. Still trying to lower our defense. Let's get back up there to try to avoid some attacks. Would not be surprised if this Rhydon has a lot of... or has like some ground type moves. Okay, it's now trying to break out the physical moves. Oh, and it tried to go for Horn Drill, but luckily we were unaffected. That was a one-hit KO move that if it landed, we would have been in big trouble. But we take out Rhydon without losing a single point of health. Next, this is where, depending on who you pick for a starter, or how in yellow your team, how you went with the battles, will determine his Pokemon. So, if you picked Blastoise like me, he will have a Gyarados. If you picked Venusaur, he would have an Executor. And if you picked Charizard, he would have an Arcanine. So this is the type that would match your starter. In yellow, if you lost both first fights with him, he would have a Ninetales. If you won both fights, he would have a Cloyster. And if you won one, lost one, he would have a Magneton. We're going to try Paracy's Classic Spore. And now we're going to start popping some Sword Dances to get him ready to possibly use Leech Life. But unfortunately, Gyarados woke up pretty fast. So let's try hit Spore one more time. He's focusing on lowering that defense. Alright, let's go with Flash. And one more Slash takes out Gyarados. Paracy, the Dragon Slayer. Not really. Next, this will be the Pokemon that is weak to your starter. So in my case of Blastoise, he sends out Arcanine. If you picked Venusaur, it would be a Gyarados. And if you picked Charizard, it would be an Executor. In yellow version, it would be a Magneton if you lost twice, Ninetales if you won twice, Cloyster if you won one, lost one. With it being a fire type, Kaiser's Earthquake should do a massive amount of damage. And we get the knockout. And now, for the final one, his starter. We've been over this multiple times. If you pick Blastoise, he has Venusaur. If you pick Venusaur, he has Charizard. If you pick Charizard, he has Blastoise. If you lost both times in yellow, it'd be Vaporeon, won both Jolteon, won one, lost one, Flareon. We use Ice Beam. Takes it halfway. He's charging up Solar Beam. If this Ice Beam doesn't knock it out, he probably will knock us out. He barely survives. Come on, Genbu, hold on. And Genbu gets knocked out. Well, Paracy, how about you get the last hit in? He uses Solar Beam, starts charging up Solar Beam, we hit with the Leech Life, and we get the knockout. And with that, Paracy gains 1 level. No new attacks! No, that can't be. You beat my best. After all, that's how that worked to become League Champ. My reign is over already? It's not fair. Why? Why did I lose? I never made any mistakes raising my Pokemon. Darn it! You're the new Pokemon League champion. Although I don't like to admit it. Phoenix! So you won! Congratulations! You're the new Pokemon League champion. You've grown up so much since you first left with Squirtle. Phoenix, you have come of age. Green, I'm disappointed. I came when I heard you beat the Elite Four. But when I got here, you had already lost. Green, do you understand why you lost? You have forgotten to treat your Pokemon with trust and love. Without them, you will never become a champ again. Phoenix, you understand that your victory was not just your own doing. The bond you share with your Pokemon is marvelous. Phoenix, come with me. Congratulations, Phoenix. This floor is the Pokemon Hall of Fame. Where Pokemon League champions are honored for their exploits here. Their Pokemon are also recorded in the Hall of Fame. Phoenix, you have endeavored hard to become the new Pokemon League champion. Congratulations, Phoenix. You and your Pokemon are Hall of Famers. Gachapon. Isis. Terror. Heresy. Kaiser. Gimbu. And me. Playtime. 22 hours, 25 minutes. Money. A whole bunch. Looking good. Go find my hay when you get 50. So depending on how many Pokemon you caught, that last little dialogue changes. And with that, we are champions of the Kanto region. You can see some shadows of Pokemon we saw throughout our journey as the credits roll by. Really enjoyed this Let's Play. We're not done yet. Still have one more thing to do. It's kind of crazy that it's basically over. Still find it funny that Gim just lost right at the end. He almost took it out, the Venusaur. But kind of going over our team a bit. Gachapon, the latecomer, the one who should have been in our party a lot sooner. I did enjoy using him a lot. I like the setting up that I kind of decided to do with him. I really wish Explosion took out that Pidgeot. But it's still kind of fun having just the one kind of gamble move and then just going boom. Isis was a big surprise for me. Pain to catch. But I really liked her versatility in this. Taking advantage of a Pokemon that normally I would overlook. Terror was fun. Also came in very late, but I've never really used a fossil in a playthrough before. And at least for Gen 1 because you get them so late. Heresy probably was my favorite out of everyone. I really did not expect much out of him when I was planning all this, but he did really well, and I kind of felt like he earned the honor to get the final knockout. Kaiser was fun. Never actually used a Nidoking before, and having it be my first shiny, I really kind of wanted to just honor that and use it. And it's also one of the best Pokemon for like speed running and all that. So it's really well connected to these games. Granted, they speed run Pokemon Red instead of Blue. I believe, or you pick Charmander for it. I only recently learned how to actually do that glitch to get the Nidoking. And then Genbu, my first starter, Blastoise. Always a classic, always love using him. So, happy for the 30th anniversary. I got to relive the first Pokemon game I played. But with that, we are done for right now. So next time on Let's Play Pokemon Blue version, we finish it off by catching one last legendary Pokemon. The one we heard about in Cinnabar Mansion, Mewtwo. So I will see you next time.